what Ukraine can teach others on media literacy development. In my presentation, I'd like to highlight Ukrainian experience on how we deal with media literacy and what can we share with other countries of our experience. I believe that Ukrainian experience is quite unique, very important and very interesting due to the fact that Ukraine is under constant informational attacks by the Russian Federation, and we still quite successfully deals with these attacks with keeping unity and good consumption of the media content by Ukrainian population. In my presentation, I want to make 4 highlights on the 4 issues, and these 4 are having strategic approach and a strategy being in place in the area that we work. Second is having institutions built that can deal and maintain this strategy. The 4 is creativity, creative approach to having media literacy agenda and activities. And the 4th is important of coordination and cooperation. So with the first, with the strategic approach, Ukraine adopted the strategy on informational security in 2021. And part of the media literacy is part of this strategy on informational security, together with disinformation, developing of strategic communications, and also such more like peaceful areas as openness of the government, protecting rights of journalists. These strategic goals are also part of the strategy of informational security. In addition to the strategy, we have action plan, and the strategic goal of media literacy is divided in concrete activities, and different ministries, including our Ministry of Culture and Information Policy, but also Ministry of Education, Ministry of Defense, other ministries, they're in charge of execution of this strategy. Ministry of Culture and Information Policy is maintaining the general framework of working with the strategy of coordinating efforts of public and private institutions, and is overall in charge of the strategy and of its execution. So strategic approach and having written strategy is very, very much important, and I would say it's impossible to work without the strategic document and strategic approach. The second priority and the second important pillar is having institutions. We at the Ministry of Culture and Information Policy established in 2021, prior to the big invasion, 2 important institutions. One is the Center of Strategic Communication as an institution dealing with communication, with disinformation, with educational activities. And a second is special media literacy project called Filter that deals specifically with media literacy issues, and doing this job very successfully with different activities, with maintaining coordination role, with being visible and public, with also having component of sharing international experience, not only learning from other countries. I remember we started with Finland as country #1 in media literacy, but also sharing its experience with other nations. Third pillar of Ukrainian approach with media literacy is creativity. The National Media Literacy Project Filter is very creative in ways of communicating with auditors, in ways of persuading people, educating people, raising awareness. And the current development of technologies is really providing for a lot of possibilities to be creative and to be successful in your activities. We do have a number of key initiatives within the media literacy, such as the national lesson of the unity with the media literacy, the national media literacy test. We work intensively with highlighting media literacy during the Media Literacy Week that is organized every year in Ukraine and actually globally. The global initiative is only effective when national authority, national educational institutions, national NGOs are taking this topic to work with that. We do have very successful project reporters for young students from schools who want to be in future journalists or work in the area of communication, who can participate, and if they win in this constant report, then they have unique opportunity to come to the capital of Ukraine, to speak with key journalists, to speak with key influencers and some state authorities who work in the area of the media literacy. The fourth pillar with the media literacy strategy in Ukraine is coordination. In Ukraine, we do have robust civil society that is very active in the topic of disinformation and media literacy. And actually, I believe that in early 2000 and prior 2020, the civil society initiatives were of the much bigger scale and importance than the initiatives of the state. So, key strategy for Ministry of Culture and Informational Policy with working with media literacy is coordinating efforts of all the stakeholders. That includes state authorities, NGOs, and international organizations. We do have coordination meetings. We share and combine our experience. We try to multiply effects and provide the possibility for the bigger scales with the state resources for private initiatives, for initiatives of the civil society. So having the strategic approach with the strategic documents on media literacy as the first key component. Having second component is institutional framework, having separate institutions and separate project that deals with media literacy. The third, our important strategy component is creativity. And the fourth that I'd like to highlight is coordination. So strategic approach, institutional framework, creativity, and coordination are our key strategies with successful work in media literacy area in Ukraine. Additionally, I want to highlight several more positions and arguments why media literacy is so much important specifically for Ukraine. Russia, with its disinformation attacks, with manipulation of the information, is trying to undermine the unity of Ukrainian people, of Ukrainian population. And media literacy, responsible consumption of the information, is very much important to keep the unity of Ukrainian people. And we see this as really one of the key objectives of the media literacy, is having and keeping this unity that is actually very strong since the beginning of the big invasion in February 2022. We see it by the sociology data, and we believe that media literacy efforts is also part of keeping and having this unity. The responsible consumption of the media information, of news, of other materials is one of the key components of having this unity. We do have challenges with different unregulated messengers and like the Telegram channels and other pretty popular nowadays means of providing information to the population, and we work with these challenges right now. For the final words, I want to highlight that Ukraine treats media literacy as a security issue, not just educational efforts. we do have media literacy as part of the information security strategy. We look at the media literacy and disinformation as part of the security agenda, and we believe it's far broader than just education, than just like literacy issue. It's very important, not just for Ukraine, but for every country in the world, to keep unity, to maintain security, to build good society, and to be a strong nation and successful country. Thank you very much.